Good afternoon, Watauga. Not sure many of you are aware, but we had a Watauga Economic Development Corporation meeting last night. President Mayor Minor, ran the meeting as he typically does. And Mayor, did you want to kind of kick this off and let the residents know what y'all discussed last night?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. We started off the meeting last night running a little bit behind. We had quite a bit of technical difficulties. It's one of the things about the computer age. As long as the computers are working, everything runs great. They never run fast enough, and when they do have problems, it just sends everybody into a spin. But anyway, once we got things started off, we went to announcements, and I made the announcement that I have 2 vacancies on the WEDC board, and I have nobody in the queue to interview to go onto the board. So if you'd like to be a part of this program and be a part of what makes Watauga a great place to live, submit your application. We'll set you up with an interview and hopefully get you on the board. After that, I went into presentations. We had a presentation for Tony's Wash and Lube in recognition of their 25th year in the city of Watauga. And then the second one was a proclamation for Jenny Craig Weight Loss with their 20-year milestone anniversary. So congratulations to both of them, and go visit those. They are Watauga businesses. And then the third item was a presentation. Ms. Gardner, I believe that one was yours.
Sir, thank you, President Minor. And as the President Mayor said, congratulations to Tony's and Jenny Craig Weight Loss Center. We very much appreciate the fact that they have selected Watauga to be their home for their businesses, and are glad that they have remained in our community for quite a long time. As the mayor had mentioned last night during the meeting, I provided a presentation to the board in an effort to seek some guidance or direction from them regarding how we can promote and help our local businesses establish a good client base. And one of the programs that had been on the radar for quite a few years with both the mayor and myself was Blue Dot. We utilized them for our online directory, and we had been hoping that they might come out with a product since we had looked at many others, as I just mentioned previously, trying to find some type of gift card or rewards type program that would help promote our local businesses. And some of the obstacles that we ran into was with just regular gift cards, it makes it difficult to fairly promote all of the businesses in Watauga, because it was hard to restrict it to where those gift cards could only be used in the city of Watauga. Well, Blue Dot has come out with an application, as I mentioned to the board last night, that does allow us to restrict the use just within the city of Watauga. And so I presented that presentation to the board, and their direction back to me was for staff to conduct several sessions with our local businesses to determine what the interest level would be from the businesses. It does require a little bit of an investment by the corporation, and before they launch a program like this, they just want to make sure that it's a program that will truly benefit our local businesses and something that they would be interested in participating in. So stay tuned. Dee and Nellie will be conducting those meetings with our local businesses to gain their input. So.
All right, thank you. And I think it's a good program to look into and see what our businesses would like to do. Any sales dollars that or tax dollars that we can keep within the city of Watauga is always a good thing. So next was public comment and public testimony. We had nobody wishing to speak on either items. And again, I will remind everybody that as of September 1st, the governor will rescind the changes that is allowed to TOMA, and we will go back to in-person only. With that, action item 1, Ms. Gardner, I think this one will be yours on the Planning and Zoning Commission and the City Council.
Yes. So Retail Coach is a contractor that provides new business attraction services for the city of Watauga, in particular the Watauga Economic Development Corporation. A few months back, that entity came and gave a quarterly report to the board. And during that report, there was a discussion that ensued surrounding COVID and the impacts of COVID. And one of the items that came forward as a need to further discuss in the future was the fact that the comprehensive land use plan update that occurred last April recommended prohibiting drive-throughs within the new retail mixed use, and the acronym is RTMU, development. And that particular zoning district, per the comp plan, is set to be along the Denton Highway corridor. And so that particular night, the board saw, as a result of the discussions with that particular consultant, the need or the importance of drive-throughs as a result of COVID. There were many businesses, as the board members pointed out that night, that might not have survived if they didn't have the ability to have drive-through operations. So the board asked me to bring it back to them so that they could make a recommendation that would be forwarded on to the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as the City Council to reconsider that prohibition as a result of COVID-19. And so we had that discussion last night, and the board unanimously directed me to work with both the Planning and Zoning Commission staff and City Secretary's office staff to ensure that this particular topic gets on a future P&Z agenda, as well as forwarding it on to the City Council for them to consider removing the restriction that would prohibit drive-through establishments within that new RTMU zoning district. Now, having said that, Mayor, just so everybody at home knows, that district is not yet up and available for development because the zoning ordinance is step 2 to the comprehensive plan update, and that step 2 has not yet been completed. So it's perfect timing that the board mentioned this because the comp plan can be updated before the zoning ordinance is changed. That way we don't have to change both plans. So this particular matter will be moving forward to the Planning and Zoning Commission in August.
All right, thank you. COVID, besides being devastating, has brought to light a lot of things that I don't think anybody thought of, and now we're having the opportunity to correct some of that. All right, item 2 was action or consider action to authorize a period of no-cost participation in our advertising program, which is our big electronic signs on Watauga Boulevard. Now, we already have that program up and running, but this was a chance to look at expanding those opportunities, some free advertising to some businesses. The example in the agenda was dental month, for example. So we've given direction to move ahead with that and see what we can do. But like I said, the advertising is up and running already. So this is just an addition to that program. All right, item number 3 was the budget. Ms. Gardner?
Yes, so part of the budget process for the Watauga Economic Development Corporation is it goes to the board first. So the board received it a few months back, and they've had an ample opportunity to review the budget. And then last night, staff asked them to consider forwarding that budget on to City Council for final approval and adoption, and the board did do so.
All right, thank you. And just another quick note on that, sales tax revenue is up from last year, which is a good thing. Item number 4 was just another portion of that budget. Number 5, approving our strategic plan for fiscal year 2021 to 2026. Did you want to say anything on that?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So on April the 24th, city staff, along with the City Council, conducted a joint planning session with our Watauga Economic Development Corporation board, in which city staff went over the strategic plan from the prior year and provided the board with an update on how the particular initiatives stood progress-wise. And then after the update was completed, then they reviewed the existing strategic plan. They also developed a mission and vision statement that was included in the plan. And then, Mr. Mayor, as you know, Dianelli was hired in late May. And that was one of the tasks that I had asked her to complete, and that was doing the cover and the layout for the strategic plan. And what an exceptional job she did on that. So the board seemed very appreciative of it, and they approved that strategic plan last night during the meeting.
All right, thank you, and I'll throw my 2 cents worth in on that too, that good job on the hiring there. So I think it's gonna work out well. Let's see, number 6, just approve minutes. The last item was consider action to authorize the finance department to conduct a request for proposals or alternative procurement methods considered appropriate for legal services. And this is a continuation from the strategic planning meeting that we had that weekend. To just go out and take a look and see what else is out there, what options are, and what pricing is basically, and make a determination from there of whether we want to continue with one city attorney or break up all the different entities. And the direction there was to move forward with the RFP.
Mr. Mayor, just so the public knows, it is very commonplace in the strategic planning sessions because those are held right before the budget. Typically, it is very commonplace to have those type discussions about budget items. So legal obviously was not the only budget item that was discussed. We discussed a number of items that ended up being included in the budget, to include the position that you mentioned a moment ago, which is the media specialist, and all the functions that particular position will cover for the corporation. We also talked about establishing a budget for the American Recovery Act funds that the city will receive, and a portion of them, how much of that will be dedicated to economic development programs. So there were a lot of things that were discussed, not just legal services during that planning session.
Yes, it's, the difference being with some of those, or with the majority of them, is we don't have to go out with RFP or RFQ for those items. But you are correct. The strategic planning, as well as the advanced copies of the budget, is the council's and all of the board's opportunities to question you, as well as the department heads, on needs and requirements, and to make the determinations from that. So,
And to provide input.
yes, ma'am.
Yep.
All right. Then the next item was we went into executive session and discussed just some potential deals out there that just aren't ready to come to the public yet. As I've mentioned before with the executive session, these are not secrets. It's just generally, especially with the Economic Development Corporation, purchasing or leasing or different deals that are going on that the individuals involved aren't ready to go public with yet. But rest assured that nothing can be done in the executive session until it comes out of executive session and is voted on by either the boards or the council. There are no, as we've been accused of before, no backdoor deals that go on. It's just not allowed. With that, we came out of the executive session. We've given you direction on continuing negotiations with that individual, and no action was taken. With that, we concluded the meeting at 7:30 sharp. So it was a good meeting, a lot of things to discuss, and a lot of interaction with the board members. So it was a very good meeting.
It was a little longer than normal, but
It was.
and not just because of the technical difficulties.
No.
And I have had a few phone calls and inquiries this morning about the recording of the meeting, and IT is working on correcting whatever issues occurred during the meeting last night. And hopefully we'll be able to get that video uploaded to the website soon. So thank you for watching.
All right. Have a good day.